The café sat on a quiet corner of the street, where the noise of the city softened into a distant hum. It was a small place, with wooden chairs, warm lights, and a large window that looked out onto the road. Every afternoon, as the sun leaned lower in the sky, golden light spilled through the glass and painted everything in a gentle glow. Most people came and went without noticing the little details, but if someone looked closely, they would always see it. A single red rose placed in a small glass bottle on the corner table near the window. No one knew who kept leaving the rose there. The staff never moved it. Each morning it would simply appear again, fresh and quiet, as if it belonged to the space more than anything else. Some customers smiled when they saw it, others barely noticed. But for Maya, it became something she could not ignore. Maya started visiting the cafe after work, mostly because it was calm. Her days were long and filled with noise, phones ringing, people talking, tasks piling up. By evening, her thoughts felt tangled. But in that cafe, things slowed down. She would order tea, sit near the window, and let her mind breathe. And every day, her eyes would drift to the same corner table, to the single rose standing there like a silent presence. One evening, rain traced soft lines down the window, and the cafe felt even quieter than usual. Only a few people sat inside, lost in their own thoughts. Maya noticed the rose again. Its petals were slightly open, deep red, almost glowing in the warm light. She wondered who brought it and why just one. A single flower felt different from a bouquet. It felt intentional, personal. Days passed, and the rose kept appearing. Sometimes it was brighter, sometimes slightly faded by evening, but always there. Maya began to feel as if the flower was part of her routine, like a quiet companion who asked nothing from her. On difficult days, she found comfort just looking at it. It reminded her to pause, to breathe, to remember that something gentle still existed in the world. One afternoon, as she sat with her tea, an elderly man entered the cafe. His steps were slow but careful, like he respected the silence of the place. He ordered nothing, only walked toward the corner table. In his hand was a fresh red rose. Maya watched quietly as he replaced the old one with the new flower, his movements soft and full of care. He noticed her watching and gave a small, kind smile before sitting at a nearby table. For a while, neither of them spoke. The rain outside had stopped, and light filled the room again. Finally, Maya gathered the courage to ask gently, "Do you bring the rose every day?" The man nodded. His eyes held both warmth and distance, like someone who had lived through many seasons. "Yes," he said softly, "it's for my wife. We used to come here every Sunday." Maya felt her chest tighten. She glanced at the rose, now standing fresh and bright. "Does she still come with you?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. He looked at the window where people passed by without knowing the story inside. "Not anymore," he replied, "but I promised her I would always bring a rose, even if I had to place it on the table myself." Silence settled between them, not uncomfortable, but deep. Maya understood then. The rose was not a decoration, it was memory. It was love continuing in a quiet way even after loss. And so, on that quiet corner table, a single rose remained, no longer just a symbol of one person's promise, but of how kindness and love can pass gently from one heart to another, never truly fading, only changing shape.